Hello, okay. Hello, how do you do? I hope that everyone is just really enjoying the Lord and is constantly occupied with His wonderful presence and grace for you. For you. So I am going to continue with learning of what God has done in Jacob's life and continuing. So, and more, and more, and more. So, we come to a place in Genesis 34 where through all of this great sweet reconciliation with Jacob and his brother Esau, we find this really joyful God praise moment in Jacob's life, where he's back reconciled with his brother. He's now back in the land of his kin, Canaan, and we're just looking at his life and seeing how he has responded to the promises of God, and how he looks to God for his needs. And when he was afraid, he called out to God. When he was scared and nervous of his brother coming and killing him possibly, and he called out to God, and God delivered him. God delivered him. And we come then to Genesis 34, where we have a dark situation that occurs. It's a very challenging thing to read, but I think that a lot of us can relate with Jacob in this time, from joy to experiencing this trouble. I'm glad that it's in here, and it's amazing that it's in this sequence. It gives us a great sense of how we're not to back down from looking to God even in the hard times. So, let's go. Let's get into it. Now Dinah, the daughter of Leah, whom she had borne to Jacob, went out to see the women of the land. And when Shechem, the son of Hamor the Hivite, the prince of the land, saw her, he seized her and lay with her and humiliated her. And his soul was drawn to Dinah, the daughter of Jacob. He loved the young woman and spoke tenderly to her. So Shechem spoke to his father Hamor, saying, "Give me this girl for my wife." Now Jacob heard that he had defiled his daughter Dinah, but his sons were with his livestock in the field. So Jacob held his peace until they came. And Hamor, the father of Shechem, went out to Jacob to speak with him. There's a lot of noise here. So, well, that's how it goes when things are alive, I suppose. Now Jacob heard that he had defiled his daughter Dinah, but his sons were with his livestock in the field. So Jacob held his peace until they came. And Hamor, the father of Shechem, went out to Jacob to speak with him. The sons of Jacob had come in from the field as soon as they had heard of it, okay? And when the men were indignant and very angry because he had done an outrageous thing in Israel by lying with Jacob's daughter, for such a thing must not be done. But Hamor spoke with them, saying, "The soul of my son Shechem longs for your daughter. Please give her to him to be his wife. Make marriages with us, give your daughters to us, and take our daughters for yourselves. You shall dwell with us, and the land shall be open to you. Dwell and trade in it, and get property in it." Shechem also said to her father and to her brothers, which it's to be read, also said to his father and to his brothers, "Let me find favor in your eyes, and whatever you say to me I will give. Ask me for as great a bride price and gift as you will, and I will give whatever you say to me. Only give me the young woman to be my wife." The sons of Jacob answered Shechem and his father Hamor deceitfully, because he had defiled their sister Dinah. They said to them, "We cannot do this thing, to give our sister to one who is uncircumcised, for that would be a disgrace to us. Only on this condition will we agree with you, that you will become as we are by every male among you being circumcised. Then we will give our daughters to you, and we will take your daughters to ourselves, and we will dwell with you and become one people." "But if you will not listen to us and be circumcised, then we will take our daughter and we will be gone." Their words pleased Hamor and Hamor's son Shechem, and the young man did not delay to do the thing.
Are you planning on putting this trash away?
Okay, yep.
Okay.
So, their words pleased Hamor and Hamor's son Shechem, and the young man did not delay to do the thing, because he delighted in Jacob's daughter. Now he was the most honored of all his father's house. Okay, so basically what we have here is we have Jacob's daughter Dinah getting defiled by Shechem, and he calls out to Jacob that he might take her as his wife. So after defiling her, he goes to Jacob. He asks his father to go to Jacob. Pretty sure that's how it goes. Yes. So Hamor goes to Jacob and asks if he will give the one who just humiliated his daughter, the daughter, Dinah. And says, why don't you give us your daughters, and we will give you our daughters in return, and dwell in the land, and basically be as one of us. The sons of Jacob answered Shechem. Okay. About all of this. And they answered deceitfully, okay? Their words pleased Hamor and Hamor's son, Shechem. And the young man, continuing in Genesis 18, the words pleased Hamor and Hamor's son, Shechem, and the young man did not delay to do the thing, because he delighted in Jacob's daughter. Now he was the most honored of all his father's house. So Hamor and his son Shechem came to the gate of their city, and spoke to the men of their city, saying, These men are at peace with us. Let them dwell in the land and trade in it. For behold, the land is large enough for them. Let us take their daughters as wives, and let us give them our daughters. Only on this condition will the men agree to dwell with us, to become one people. When every male among us is circumcised, as they are circumcised, will not their livestock, their property, and all their beasts be ours? Only let us agree with them, and they will dwell with us. And all who went out of the gate of his city listened to Hamor and his son Shechem, and every male was circumcised, all who went out of the gate of his city. On the third day, when they were sore, two of the sons of Jacob, Simeon and Levi, Dinah's brothers, took their swords and came against the city while it felt secure, and killed all the males. They killed Hamor and his son Shechem with the sword, and took Dinah out of Shechem's house and went away. The sons of Jacob came upon the slain and plundered the city, because they had defiled their sister. They took their flocks and their herds, their donkeys, and whatever was in the city and in the field, all their wealth, all their little ones, and their wives, all that was in the houses, they captured and plundered. So, as I mentioned, that they answered Hamor and Shechem deceitfully, that yes, if you and all your people become circumcised, then we will give you our daughters and our wives to women, our women to you, and you give your women to us, but you must be circumcised. So they go out, Hamor and Shechem go out to the city, to the gate, and told all the men what they were to do. So all of them agreed. They were all circumcised. But remember, they answered deceitfully. And on the third day, the sons of Jacob went out against that city while the people were still sore from their circumcision, and killed all of them for defiling their sister Dinah. Now, I remember when I first read this, I honestly was shocked. I mean, I was like, I almost didn't believe it. I was like, whoa, whoa. They did that. They just went and killed all of the men while they were sore from circumcision, as they asked them to go get circumcised, and whacked them all for raping their sister. Now, that's a bold, those are some different kinds of people right there. Simeon and Levi, Dinah's brothers, took their swords, came against the city, and while it felt secure, and killed all the males. They killed Hamor and his son Shechem. Continuing, Genesis 30. Then Jacob said to Simeon and Levi, "You have brought trouble on me by making me stink to the inhabitants of the land, the Canaanites and the Perizzites. My numbers are few. And if they gather themselves against me and attack me, I shall be destroyed, both I and my household." But they said, "Should he treat our sister like a prostitute?" End of chapter. So, we see a lot going on in that chapter. I'm sorry. I apologize. It was a bit choppy for me there, just kind of getting back into digging into this. It's wild. It's wild. And it truly was a humiliation to her. It truly was trouble to her. And this is how angry they was. They brought vengeance. And Jacob is like, oh no, oh my, I mean, you brought trouble on me, oh my. So he's in this trouble and he's in this distress. You notice this about Jacob's character. He's a man who often has gone through troubles in his life. And I think that this is a real difficult trouble. But let's continue on reading. Genesis 35. God said to Jacob, "Arise, go up to Bethel and dwell there. Make an altar there to the God who appeared to you when you fled from your brother Esau." So Jacob said to his household and to all who were with him, "Put away the foreign gods that are among you, and purify yourselves, and change your garments. Then let us arise and go up to Bethel, so that I may make there an altar to the God who answers me in the day of my distress." Then let us arise and go up to Bethel, so that I may make there an altar to the God who answers me in the day of my distress, and has been with me wherever I have gone. So they gave to Jacob all their foreign gods that they had, and the rings that were in their ears. Jacob hid them under the terebinth tree that was near Shechem. And as they journeyed, a terror from God fell upon the cities that were around them, so that they did not pursue the sons of Jacob. And Jacob came to Luz, that is Bethel, which is in the land of Canaan, he and all the people who were with him. And there he built an altar and called the place El Bethel, because there God had revealed himself to him when he fled from his brother. And Deborah, Rebekah's nurse, died, and she was buried under an oak below Bethel. So he called its name Allon Bakuth. Okay? So God tells Jacob, after this incident, to go to Bethel and dwell there. Make an altar there to the God who appeared to you when you fled to your brother Esau. This is what God told him. And look what Jacob did. What did Jacob do? He did it. He did it. He went, picked up, and God put a terror on the cities that were around them as they were going up to this place to worship. And this is a wonderful thing that God did for him and his family. Or else I'm sure they would have probably tried to go and kill him. But we see God's protection here. God protecting Jacob and his family, once again handling and taking care of business and doing and bringing out what he said that he was going to do. Continuing, 35 verse 9 and more. God appeared to Jacob again when he came from Padan Aram and blessed him. And God said to him, your name is Jacob. No longer shall your name be called Jacob, but Israel shall be your name. So he called his name Israel. And God said to him, I am God Almighty. Be fruitful and multiply. A nation and a company of nations shall come from you, and kings shall come from your own body. The land that I gave to Abraham and Isaac I will give to you, and I will give the land of your offspring after you. Then God went up from him in the place where he had spoken with him. And Jacob set up a pillar in the place where he had spoken with him, a pillar of stone. He poured out a drink offering on it and poured oil on it. So Jacob called the name of the place where God had spoken with him Bethel. Okay? So here again, after such a terrible incident, God has him pick up, go to this place, and make an altar to him. And he did. And God reminded him, your name is no longer Jacob, but Israel. And promised him he would give him the land. And that a nation and a company of nations shall come from him. And this is where the nation Israel comes from. So, when Jacob was distressed, God showed up. He showed up and said, I want you to go over here. So, continuing. Genesis 35:16. Moving on. Then they journeyed from Bethel when they were still some distance from Ephrath. Rachel went into labor, and she had hard labor. And when her labor was at its hardest, the midwife said to her, "Do not fear, for you have another son." And as her soul was departing, for she was dying, she called his name Ben-Ani, but his father called him Benjamin. So Rachel died, and she was buried on the way to Ephrath, that is Bethlehem. And Jacob set up a pillar over her tomb. It is the pillar of Rachel's tomb, which is there to this day. Israel journeyed on and pitched his tent beyond the Tower of Eder. While Israel lived in the land, Reuben went and lay with Bilhah, his father's concubine, and Israel heard of it. Now the sons of Jacob were 12, the sons of Leah, Reuben, Jacob's firstborn, Simeon, Levi, Judah, Issachar, and Zebulun. The sons of Rachel, Joseph and Benjamin. The sons of Bilhah, Rachel's servant, Dan and Naphtali. The sons of Zilpah, Leah's servant, Gad and Asher. These were the sons of Jacob who were born to him in Padan Aram. And Jacob came to his father Isaac at Mamre, or Kiriath Arba, that is Hebron, where Abraham and Isaac had sojourned. Now the days of Isaac were 180 years, and Isaac breathed his last, and he died, and was gathered to his people, old and full of days. And his sons Esau and Jacob buried him. End of chapter. So there's a whole lot going on here, and just a lot of struggles and issues just popped up for Jacob. And we know who was with Jacob, who was with him. The Lord, the only one true God, was with him. So we jumped into some difficult stories and difficult situations for Jacob and in his life. And we see that Jacob was a man who found distress. But you can see his life moving on and going forward as he continues to worship God. I find it interesting that when God asked them to go and worship him in Bethel, that they had to put away their gods, lowercase g, that they was worshiping. And Jacob says, we're going to go worship the God who answers me in the day of my distress and has been with me wherever I have gone. Now that's who we need to be thinking like. In our challenges, when we're in distress and we're struggling, we should be like, time to go worship the God who loves us, loves me in my struggle and my distress. I find it wild that they had some foreign gods in that in his company, They had to get rid of those. And this is something to be pondered. I mean, look at Jacob. He knew who the one true God was. He knew the Lord. And still, there were people around him that was worshiping false gods. I love how the terror fell around the cities, God protecting him, and God minds him again. Your name shall be called Israel. No longer shall be called Jacob. And I will make you fruitful. I will make a nation and a company of nations from you. Promises him the land that he promised his father Abraham and Isaac. And he's now relaying the message down to Israel, to Jacob, whose name was changed to Israel. They journey, and we find some death. We have a couple deaths that had occurred. Rachel's death stands out because she died during childbearing. But she had a son, and Jacob called him Benjamin. Benjamin means, according to my note, this son of the right hand. Son of the right hand. So, this is another distressing thing. Rachel was the wife that Jacob loved. Now, I came across this quote, and this pertains to getting rid of the false gods here. This quote is by an artist that lives in Mexico. Canupa Hanska Luger. Here, I just want to help us be mindful that we need to beware of false gods around us. Beware of false deity. I'm going to quote this man. He said, "Today our society provokes us to devote our lives to unnamed gods, like consumption, wealth, and fame. We emulate those who have what we want. We engage in prayerful action without practical understanding of who or what we are petitioning or performing for." Canupa Hanska Luger. Now, very insightful, I believe. I really just wanted to point that out. There are gods that sometimes we don't even really know that we're serving. We're unawares. And our goal, this is why we get and we jump into the Word as best we can. with trying to get as much insight as we can to build our faith, to continue to build our faith, even in distress. I'm going to quote him again. Today our society provokes us to devote our lives to unnamed gods, like consumption, wealth, and fame. We emulate those who have what we want. We engage in prayerful action without practical understanding of who or what we are petitioning or performing for. Canupa Hanska Luger. Now, how much I've seen this in my own life, but also I've seen it in the lives of others. And we have to continue to protect our hearts from these false gods. And even if they are surrounding around us in our camp, we need to protect ourselves from these false gods. People who are close to us can have these false gods, but the Word of God gives us the right proper insight so that we're not bowing down and worshiping false gods. And this is the importance of getting into the Scripture. And we see that Jacob had such he had a joyful moment, and then he had all of a sudden the rape and defilement of his daughter shows up soon after. And he goes to worship the only true God, getting rid of false gods. And even soon after that, we read, they had journeyed from Bethel when they were still some distance from Ephrath, which is Bethlehem. Rachel went into labor, and eventually she passed. Is he going to give up? You think he's going to give up? We see Jacob doesn't give up here. Okay? So he has these difficult things that happen. Even one of his sons went and laid with his concubine. Jacob was a man who trusted God. And he still continues on. He trusts God. He is a faithful man, even in his distresses. Even when a lot of things are going on around him. Now, I'm going to continue reading, and I'm going to read Genesis 36, which is a list of names. Okay? If you want to bear with that, I'm letting you know. But it's a chapter of the generations of Esau, Jacob's brother. I'm going to read these names, and then the next chapter gets into Joseph, the son, one of the sons of Rachel, who had just passed away. But I'm going to get into these names, and very likely we'll be finishing up this this time here on the real, the keep it real on this this recording here. Lahaya La. Let's see. These are the generations of Esau, that is Edom. Esau took his wives from the Canaanites, Adah, the daughter of Elon, the Hittite, Oholibamah, the daughter of Anna, the daughter of Zibeon, the Hivite, and Basemath, Ishmael's daughter, the sister of Nebaioth. And Adah bore to Esau Eliphaz. Basemath bore Reuel, and Oholibamah bore Jeush, Jalam, and Korah. These are the sons of Esau who were born to him in the land of Canaan. Then Esau took his wives, his sons, his daughters, and all the members of his household, his livestock, all his beasts, and all his property that he had acquired in the land of Canaan. He went into a land away from his brother Jacob, for their possessions were too great for them to dwell together. The land of their sojournings could not support them because of their livestock. So Esau settled in the hill country of Seir. Esau is Edom. It's great to mention that God's hand there, providing, building up. These are the generations of Esau, the father of the Edomites, in the hill country of Seir. These are the names of Esau's sons: Eliphaz, the son of Adah, the wife of Esau; Reuel, the son of Basemath, the wife of Esau. The sons of Eliphaz were Teman, Omer, Zepho, Gatam, and Kenaz. Timnah was a concubine of Eliphaz, Esau's son. She bore Amalek to Eliphaz. These are the sons of Adah, Esau's wife. These are the sons of Reuel: Nahath, Zerah, Shema, and Mizah. These are the sons of Basemath, Esau's wife. These are the sons of Oholibamah, the daughter of Anna, the daughter of Zibeon, Esau's wife. She bore to Esau Jeush, Jalam, and Korah. These are the chiefs of the sons of Esau, the sons of Eliphaz, the firstborn of Esau, the chiefs of Teman, Omer, Zepho, Kenaz, Korah, Gatam, and Amalek. These are the chiefs of Eliphaz in the land of Edom. These are the sons of Adah. These are the sons of Reuel, Esau's son. The chiefs Nahath, Zerah, Shammah, and Mizah. These are the chiefs of Reuel in the land of Edom. These are the sons of Basemath, Esau's wife. These are the sons of Oholibamah, Esau's wife. The chiefs Jeush, Jalam, and Korah. These are the chiefs born of Oholibamah, the daughter of Anna, Esau's wife. These are the sons of Esau, that is Edom, and these are their chiefs. These are the sons of Seir, the Horite, the inhabitants of the land: Lotan, Shobal, Zibeon, Anna, Dishan, Ezer, and Dishan. These are the chiefs of the Horites, the sons of Seir in the land of Edom. The sons of Lotan were Hori and Hemim, and Lotan's sister was Timnah. These are the sons of Shobal: Alvin, Menahath, Ebal, Shepho, and Onam. These are the sons of Zibeon: Ai, and Anna. He is Anna, who found the hot springs in the wilderness as he pastured the donkeys of Zibeon his father. These are the children of Anna, Dishan and Oholibamah, the daughter of Anna. These are the sons of Dishan, Hemdan, Eshban, Ithran, and Sharon. These are the sons of Ezer, Bilhan, Zaaban, and Achan. These are the sons of Dishan, Uz, and Aran. These are the chiefs of the Horites, the chiefs Lotan, Shobal, Zibeon, Anna, Dishan, Ezer, and Dishan. These are the chiefs of the Horites, chief by chief in the land of Seir. These are the kings who reigned in the land of Edom, before any king reigned over the Israelites. Bela, the son of Beor, reigned in Edom, the name of his city being Dinhabah. Bela died, and Jobab, the son of Zerah of Bozrah, reigned in his place. Jobab died, and Husham of the land of the Temanites reigned in his place. Husham died, and Hadad the son of Bedad, who defeated Midian in the country of Moab, reigned in his place, the name of his city being Avith. Hadad died, and Samlah of Masrekah reigned in his place. Samlah died, and Shaul of Rehoboth on the Euphrates reigned in his place. Shaul died, and Baal-Hanan, the son of Akbor, reigned in his place. Baal-Hanan, the son of Akbor, died, and Hadar reigned in his place, the name of his city being Paul. His wife's name was Mehetabel, the daughter of Matred, daughter of Mizahab. These are the names of the chiefs of Esau, according to their clans and their dwelling places, by their names. The chiefs Timnah, Alva, Jetheth, Oholibamah, Elah, Pinan, Kenaz, Teman, Mibzar, Magdiel, and Eram. These are the chiefs of Edom, that is Esau, the father of Edom, according to their dwelling places in the land of their possession. Okay, well, that wasn't too bad. I mean, it's hard. It can be hard to read those names when you don't speak their language exactly. So thank you guys for those who bore with me through that. And I just want to mention also that Isaac just passed away. And Esau and Jacob just buried him. And then I went through the names. So I just want to mention that. I'm going to cut this off and maybe, Joseph and a lot of his life will be popping up here in chapter 37.